Yeah, it's crazy. So, the other thing is the jury obviously agreed with you, capital murder on both counts for one for each daughter. And that was, I think, a little less than 3 hours, approximately 3 hours of deliberation. So, what is it like when do you think, a person is sitting there waiting to hear their fate, but the attorney, when you hear it 3 hours, they have a verdict. I think most defense attorneys, their stomach drops and they think, oh, this is not good.
Yeah, I remember watching the O.J. Simpson trial growing up, 8.5 months of testimony that came back with a verdict in 4 hours, right? So it
Yeah.
was a wild card. In a case like this, not so much of a wild card. When you're the defense attorney and they come back in that short of time, I mean, it's not like they came back with an acquittal. There's really only one option at that point. You're getting convicted. And I always say that juries gravitate towards the inflammatory, right? I don't think a
Mhm.
jury of robots would have reached a different verdict. I think a jury of robots, I think a jury of humans, I think a jury of Chat GPT would have all reached the same verdict, right? So, as a defense attorney, and the defense attorneys did the best they could because at the end of the day, they were dealt, from the bottom of the deck. They had no cards to play. So they knew what it was. Um, but I mean, at the end of the day, what more could they do? Obviously, they came back with a guilty verdict and came in. I was surprised they came back in 3.5 hours because again, it's so grotesque that the fact pattern it was so inflammatory that the jury could have really reached no other verdict, in my opinion.